I think we have done better than expectation. One should never evaluate stock market on a 1 year basis. We have to evaluate it over 5 year basis. In the long term, only fundamentals matter. Think investment as a partnership with Tatas, Birlas, Ambanis, Adanis, Jindals, and so on and so forth. And अगर आपको इतने अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर मिलते हैं पार्टनरशिप करने के लिए, तो आप पार्टनरशिप तोड़ने की क्यों सोच रहे हैं? बढ़ाने की सोचिए. Market is far bigger than all of us. We are all students of the market. None of us are market guru, market master. भाव भगवान.
Welcome to the first episode of Bulls and Bazaars, where we decode the market in simplest terms every week. Today we have Mr. Nilesh Shah with us, who is the Managing Director of Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. He has nearly 3 decades of experience in decoding the markets. Welcome, sir. We are really glad to have you here on our podcast.
It's my pleasure.
How are you doing, sir?
We can't complain.
Okay, so how do you assess the performance of Indian stock markets and global markets in the year 2024?
I think we have done better than expectation.
Right,
We have done better than many emerging markets.
right,
Of course, we haven't done as good as some of the developed markets like US. But one should never evaluate stock market on a 1 year basis. We have to evaluate it over 5 year basis. And on 5 year basis, India is one of the best performing equity market in the world. US and India are the two stalwarts of performance in equity markets over last 5 years. So we should be happy as an Indian that our markets have done well.
But in the last few months of 2024 and 2025 has just begun, and in the first few sessions, we have seen markets have stayed in red so far. So what's your outlook for the 2025 and how do you see the trajectory going ahead?
So one, if there is a sale in a shop, shouldn't we be happy that we are
Right.
getting things cheaper? If there is a one pay one offer, तो लोग ऑर्डर जल्दी करते हैं. जब मार्केट में एक के ऊपर एक ऑफर मिलता है तो लोगों को डर लगता है, लोग भाग जाते हैं. So think of red market as an opportunity to buy.
Right,
Again, my request will be don't look equity with 1 year horizon. Think of it as a partnership with some of India's brightest entrepreneurs. No matter how rich I am, but if I go to Mr. Mukesh Ambani and say that make me your business partner, will he make it? Answer is no. But when I buy one share of Reliance Industries Limited, I become small partner of Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Think investment as a partnership with Tatas, Birlas, Ambanis, Adanis, Jindals, and so on and so forth.
right.
That's the opportunity which stock market provides. And अगर आपको इतने अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर मिलते हैं पार्टनरशिप करने के लिए, तो आप पार्टनरशिप तोड़ने की क्यों सोच रहे हैं? बढ़ाने की सोचिए.
Also, sir, there is just one topic which has been creating a lot of buzz in the market these days. That is the return of Donald Trump to the White House, and he'll be taking over the charge in next few days. So, what's the one thing that comes into your mind first when you think about his impact on the global markets and Indian market specifically, and some of the sectors?
So one, President Trump is a maverick. Already before becoming president, he has shaken up the world.
Right,
कनाडा को 51st स्टेट बना लिया यूएस का.
right,
Greenland, he's saying that I'll buy it out from Denmark. On Panama Canal, he says it is we who have built, so we should own it. He will change name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Undoubtedly, he will keep all of us busy.
right,
At the end of the day, he is a maverick businessman. And he will prefer America first policy. But every good businessman knows that eventually the other party also has to see that they benefit from the deal.
right,
America deals with China, it's a lose-win situation. America loses, China wins.
right.
When America deals with India, it's a win-win situation. America wins and so does India.
Right.
For example, when Y2K came, there were worry whether computers will run or not. That problem was given to Indian software developers. We painstakingly worked and ensured that transition from 2000 to 2001 was smooth. In the process, America benefited and India also benefited.
Right.
Imagine if China would have done that job. By now, so many viruses and bugs would have gone into American computer system that their whole thing would have collapsed.
Right.
So when America deals with India, they have reduced cost, better safety, higher efficiency. And yes, of course, we also benefit for doing the job.
Right.
And this is where India-US partnership creates win-win situation.
Right.
As long as we can convince President Trump that instead of lose-win relationship with China, create win-win relationship with India, like in IT, like in generic medicine, I think both of us will do well.
Right. So, but with his aggressive stance on trade tariffs and tax cuts and immigration control, which sectors do you think in India can see some headwinds, or where are some of the potential opportunities lying?
So President Trump will be a very small factor in the overall Indian market.
Right.
Of course, it will grab headline, it will grab attention, but eventually export as a percentage of GDP for India is on the lower side.
Right.
The Indian companies are pure play domestic plays and not necessarily export play. And those companies which are exporting, America is going to realize that they are there for America's benefit, like Indian IT companies, like Indian pharma companies.
Right.
So I don't think so. President Trump's announcements will have material impact on India. If at all, it will be beneficial impact as he realizes that dealing with India is positive for America.
Right. But sir, as you said that he often make headlines, and we have seen his statements moving markets sometimes, and whether his stance on tax cuts or trade wars or any other global issue. So how should investors differentiate between the market fundamentals and the market sentiments, and how much market movement is driven by policy compared to the speculation?
See, in the short term, sentiments and flows drive the market. But in the long term, only fundamentals matter.
Right.
No amount of money can keep a stock higher than its fair value over long term.
Right.
No amount of sentiment can lift the stock price beyond its fair value over long term.
Right.
Now, is it in my hand to control flows? Answer is no.
Right.
Is it in my hand to make everyone positive towards India? Answer is no. There will be some critics of India. No matter what we do, they will still hate us. They will still write negative things about us.
Right.
What is in our hand is to focus on fundamentals. Over last 10 years, Indian corporate earnings have grown at 166% per 166% in the 10-year period.
Right.
Chinese earning per share in the same time period has grown at about 10-11%.
Right.
Of course, China is in renminbi, India is in rupee, but for a second, just forget about that.
Right.
As long as my corporate earnings growth is better than peers, as long as my governance standards are better than peers, and as long as I convince investors that they have opportunity to make money in India, I'm sure they'll be looking to invest in India no matter what flows are and what sentiments are.
So, when do you expect FII is coming back?
So why are FPIs selling? Are they selling India to buy emerging markets? Answer is no.
Right.
They're selling India to buy American market. Why are they buying American market? Because President Trump has announced tax cuts. When you give tax cuts, EPS goes up, automatically share price will shoot up.
Right.
And that's why people have gone and invested there. I have no control over what others will do. I only have control over what I can do. I have to focus on generating economic growth, which is better than other peers, which we are doing. I have to focus on governance, which is better than peers, which we are doing. I have
right,
to focus on corporate profitability growth, which is better than peers, which we are doing. I have to focus on return on equity and sustaining this corporate profitability growth, which we are doing. We are taking all the boxes, what is right. At some point of time, FPIs will look at it and come to buy. Chinese market is trading at the same level for last 17 years. What
right,
it is trading today, it traded first time 17 years back. We are trading at a level where we were 6 months back.
right,
It's the difference between India and China. I'm sure FPIs will recognize that and they'll come back to invest. It's not that they have taken a lot of money out. They would have taken $12 billion in last 3 months. They have $900 billion in India.
right. But even recently, China has announced some economic stimulus packages to boost their economy, but it hasn't shown some material outcomes. What's your take on that?
See, Chinese economy is not a very transparent economy. We hear what they want us to hear. We see what they want us to see.
Hmm.
There's no Facebook there. There's no Twitter or X there.
Right,
There's no WhatsApp over there.
right.
Uh, you never know about China in reality.
Hmm.
And which is why it's very, very difficult to take a call on China.
Right.
They they are shrouded in haze, and we don't have ability to see through that haze. They will only show what they want us to see.
So, right. But the quarter three earnings season has just begun. TCS has just announced their results. So I just want to talk to you about the Indian IT stocks as well. In the previous regime, Indian IT stocks performed really well. I guess Nifty IT index goes up by I think 150%. So with the potential rebound in US IT segment and Q2 results and positive trend in BFSI spending in the US, but how do you think Indian IT companies are they ready for another rally, or especially with the concerns around H1B visa norms and tariff hikes?
So Indian IT companies, one will have to be selective from a bottom-up point of view.
Right,
Today, one new employee who knows how to leverage AI
right,
is probably equivalent to 10 old employees who don't know how to use AI.
right,
It's like a competition with someone wearing Iron Man suit and fighting versus someone who is not wearing. Companies which will be able to leverage their AI capabilities better than their peers will do well, because by recruiting 100 people, they'll do 1,000 persons work. They will deliver cheaper, better, faster solution to their customers. Every Indian IT company is focused on AI. You need to be better than your competitor. And hence, IT sector will become bottom-up stock picking rather than top-down sector allocation.
with with US trying to reduce reliance on China for pharmaceuticals and pushing for reshoring production, how do you see this impacting Indian pharma companies?
So Indian pharma company will be beneficiary.
Right,
Uh, we provide almost half of generic medicines of US
hmm,
at a cost which is 10% of their budget.
right,
Whatever they spend on medicine, volume wise, India's market share is 4 times higher than their value market share, which means we are providing cheaper medicine, quality medicine, and in the quantity which Americans are consuming. Now, many Indian companies are formulation maker. They are not fully backward integrated with APIs and bulk drugs. The
right,
government of India has announced PLI for APIs and bulk drugs. Some companies have taken advantage of the same. Uh, we will get fully integrated over a period of time and reduce reliance on China. If American capital supports Indian pharma companies to go backward integrate, to do backward integration, that will be helping them to reduce their reliance on China.
right. Okay, so
Remember that when
yeah,
vaccines came, we not only made vaccines for ourselves during COVID time, but we
right,
also provided to the rest of the world.
right. So recently, a new virus has breakdown in China and has raised some concern in the Indian markets as well. We saw market crash, I think, yesterday as well. So, is market concerned about the HMPV virus outbreak?
So again, what we hear from doctors, it's not like COVID, which will result into lockdown, which will result into deaths, which will result into overburden medical system. It's a
Right.
common flu, and you know, immunity level of Indians, thanks to much higher exposure to such kind of things, is probably higher. So as of today, I don't have enough data to say that this virus is like COVID and hence risky to the market. I presume doctors know what they are talking, and if they believe it's not a serious threat, it may not be.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for your insights. Now that
Thank you.
we have covered some serious ground, let's shift gears a bit with the you have spent nearly 30 in the markets, and I'm sure you have had your share of memorable moments. And let's dive into a few lighter moments, and I have some personal questions for you. Uh, what is the one question that people always ask you and it makes you laugh?
True Levanu. I am a Gujju bhai. Wherever I go, people ask, what should we buy? And I'm really laughing at that because if I knew what we have to buy, why will I do a job? I would have become an investor myself.
Right. So, what's the most memorable piece of advice you have received in your early career?
When I started in stock market during my articleship days, I lost all the money.
Okay.
I was hailing from a very poor family, and losing that money was a big shock. And which is where I'm lucky that I found a wise man to counsel me. And one advice which he gave, that on the Dalal Street, we do Lakshmi Pujan every Diwali night. But to make money, we have to do Pujan of Saraswati Mata every day. The
Right.
road to riches passes through blessings of Saraswati Mata. Do your research, don't invest on tips. That was, I think, the best advice, that on Dalal Street, to get blessings of Lakshmi Mata, you have to pray to Saraswati Mata.
Okay. So, what's the one thing that you wish every new investor would know before they dive into the stock market?
They should learn from others' experience.
Right.
What mistakes they are going to make, others have already made before them and paid the price. Why not learn from others' experience rather than committing mistake ourselves and pay a price? It's much cheaper to learn from someone else's mistake.
Do you have a favorite quote or a mantra that has guided you throughout your career as an analyst?
Bhav Bhagwan, price is God.
Right.
Price reflects everything. Many a times I have believed that I am more smarter than the market, and my view will become correct even though prices are indicating otherwise. That ego has hurt me. That ego has made me lose money. And which is why I always remember, market is far bigger than all of us. We are all students of the market. None of us are market guru, market master. Bhao Bhagwan.
So, just one rapid fire round and we'll wrap up this conversation. Uh, which was your first stock?
Well, it was some Arbit company. I don't even remember the name.
Okay. Your most important market metric.
Compounding, long-term compounding. I don't want a 10 beggar stock. I'll prefer a stock which keeps on compounding for 20 years.
Uh, Bitcoin, yes or no?
It's like a gamble. Play to the extent you can afford to lose.
During markets, chai or coffee?
I'm a tea drinker.
Value stocks or growth stocks?
Good stocks don't get compartmentalized in value and growth. You have to buy good stocks to make money.
Right. So that was it, sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank
giving
you.
your time, and it was a really valuable discussion with you.